Trading rules have changed going into 2026, and if you're still playing by the old playbook, the market is actively ripping your account apart. I know this because I've been trading for over 16 years. I started with $6,000 and I built an 8-figure portfolio, and I also run one of the largest options trading communities online. I've watched thousands of retail traders go through every market regime ever since the end of the global financial crisis. And what I'm seeing right now is that the traders who are actively making money in 2026, they simply understand the new rules. The ones who aren't are following a playbook the market stopped rewarding 2 years ago, and they can't figure out why it's not working anymore. So in this video, I'm breaking down the new rules of trading in 2026, what actually changed, why it matters, and exactly how to position yourself to win in this regime. Section 1, the market got faster than you. Think about what a textbook setup used to look like 5 years ago. You'd pull up your chart, identify a level, watch the price approach it, see the reaction, and then enter. That whole process from recognition to execution, it might take 15 to 20 minutes. You had time to breathe, time to think, and time to size right. Now, that same move resolves in 4 minutes, sometimes less. The setup appears, it triggers, it runs, and then it's over. And you're sitting there wondering what just happened. This isn't bad luck, it's structural. There's 3 specific things that change the speed of the market permanently. Number 1 is 0-day options. They now dominate volume. 0DT options. These are contracts that expired the same day, and they now represent the majority of options activity in the market. What that means in practice is that moves that used to take 2 or 3 days to develop are now being priced, traded, and resolved within a single session. The market is pricing in urgency that didn't exist before. Intraday volatility that used to bleed out slowly, now it spikes and snaps back inside an hour. The whole timeline compressed. Number 2 is retail flow. It became a real market force. Retail isn't noise anymore. When you and 10,000 other traders are all watching the same breakout level on the same ticker, you collectively move the market before you even realize it. Institutions aren't waiting for you to enter and then fading you. They're front running the setup because they know exactly where retail's positioned. Your stop location isn't a secret. Your entry trigger is not a secret either. The crowded trade is a predictable trade, and predictable liquidity gets taken. Number 3 is AI-driven execution. Compress the news to price window. So by the time you read a headline, an algo processed it, priced it in, and moved the stock. And by the time you see the candle, 3 systems already traded the event. You're not trading the news, you're trading the aftermath of the news, and the aftermath is sometimes completely different setup than the event itself. And here's what all this looks like in your own trading. The setup triggers, you recognize it, you start building the position, you feel good about it, and then your stop hits in 4 minutes on a move that used to give you 20. That's not the market being broken. That's the market doing exactly what it always does, becomes more efficient. The old playbook didn't get worse. The playing field got faster and the playbook didn't update. So if the market is this fast now, what's actually left for a retail trader to win on? That's the question. And the answer changes everything about how you think about your edge. Section 2, the edge moved from setup to execution. Go search best day trading strategy right now, and you'll get 10,000 videos, all of them teaching the same 5 setups: the breakout, the bull flag, the support bounce, the gap and go, the VWAP reclaim. Every retail trader watching these has seen these explanations hundreds of times from dozens of different creators with different indicators drawn on the same patterns. There is no proprietary setup left. None. The information is fully commoditized. If it works and someone knows about it, it's on YouTube within a month. The concept of a secret strategy, it doesn't exist in 2026. That edge is gone. So here's a scenario I want you to actually sit with. 2 traders, same ticker, same level, same timing, same setup, perfectly identical entry signal. One ends the year up and one ends the year down significantly. The setup didn't decide that. The execution did. How they sized relative to their actual conviction, not their feelings, their conviction. And whether they waited for the specific entry point or took what was close enough because they didn't want to miss it, how quickly they cut the trade told them it was wrong. Whether they had the discipline to walk away completely on days when the setup wasn't there versus manufacturing reasons to be in the market. None of that shows up on a chart, and that's exactly why traders who are obsessed with finding a better setup never actually find their setup, because they're looking in the wrong place. The edge isn't in what you see, it's in what you do with what you see. If you've been grinding for years trying to find the right system, the right indicator, the right setup, and you still haven't found it, I'm telling you right now, it's not out there. Stop looking. The edge you've been hunting is in the mirror. It's in your execution, and that's actually good news because it means it's completely within your control. Section 3, fewer trades, more money. Early in my career, I was taking 10, 15 trades a day, and I thought I was learning. I thought reps were the whole game. I was reinforcing bad habits at scale. Now I might take 5 trades, maybe 10 in a week if the market's hot, and the account is dramatically larger. The math runs the complete opposite direction of what most beginners assume. And in 2026, this is more true than it has ever been, and here's why. When the market is fast and moves are sharp, there is no grace period for lower probability setups. In 2019, you could take a B grade setup and get away with it because the move was slow enough to give you time to adjust. That cushion is gone. Low probability trades in this regime get punished immediately and fully. The cost of being wrong has gone up, and the window for almost right has completely disappeared. Let me give you a picture that makes this concrete. Trader A takes 50 setups a week. Even with a 60% win rate, they're paying commissions on all 50 trades. They're eating slippage on all 50, and they're making emotional decisions across 50 different stress events spread across the week. Their discipline breaks down by Wednesday because they're already processed more decisions than the human brain handles cleanly. Trader B takes 5 setups a week, same 60% win rate on paper, but their decisions are cleaner because they're not mentally depleted. They're sizing properly because they're not trying to make back Wednesday's losses by Friday. They're recovering fully between trades instead of spiraling. The same edge on paper, but completely different P&L by December. Your job in 2026 is not to find more trades, it's to ignore most of them. The setups that aren't quite there, the days when the tape is unclear, the trades where you're reaching a little, pass on all of it. Wait for the setup that fully matches your framework and then execute it cleanly. Some days the right number of trades is 0. Cash is a position, and protecting your account on a day when nothing is there is not a weakness, it's a skill. And in this market, it might be the highest leverage skill you have. Section 4, size beats entry. Let me frame what's actually different right now. Retail traders today have access to options leverage, prop firm capital, futures contracts, and 0DT options. The amount of risk you can put on with 3 clicks is multiples of what was possible 10 years ago. Most traders treat that as a feature. More leverage, more upside, more opportunity. It's a trap if you don't size for it. Here's a specific scenario. $10,000 account. You've identified a legitimate setup. Right entry, right level, high conviction. And you size at 30% of the account because you feel strongly about it. The trade goes against you by 7%, and your account is now down 20% on a single position. 3 of those a month and the account is done, regardless of how many correct setups you identified along the way. That trader wasn't wrong about the market. They were wrong about the size. Here's what good sizing actually looks like, and I want you to be concrete about this because size properly is advice everyone gives and nobody defines. Before you enter any trade, you define your stop. You define your max loss, and not after you enter, not when it starts going against you. It has to be before you touch the order. Then you calculate the maximum dollar amount you are willing to lose on the trade. Let's say it's $200. Then you size the position so that if the stop hits, you lose exactly $200. Not $400 because you sized up a little, not $600 because you averaged down, exactly $200. You decide this before the trade, not during it. That process is the most concrete expression of discipline that exists in trading. You cannot think your way to discipline, you cannot motivate your way to it, but you can size your way to it, because when the position size is right, a loss is just a loss. And it doesn't become a crisis. It doesn't become a reason to revenge trade. It doesn't take you out of the game. And when losses are just losses, you stay in long enough for your edge to compound. The math only works if you're still in the game. Section 5, context beats the chart. Most retail traders are chart first, context second. They pull up a ticker, they look for a pattern, and decide if there's a trade. And in 2026, that order is going to cost you consistently. Let me define context concretely because it sounds abstract and I don't want it to. Context is 3 things. The most important thing is the macro picture. What is the Fed doing? What are rates doing? Whether the dollar is strengthening or breaking down when inflation data just printed. This is the weather system the market's operating in. Ignoring it because you trade a single ticker is like ignoring a hurricane because you only care about your neighborhood. The second thing is the index posture. What is SPX doing? Is it in a trend? Is it ranging? Is it showing signs of distribution? Is QQQ holding above a key structure or starting to crack? Is the broader market risk on or risk off right now? This is the current of the river. You can swim any direction you want, but you need to know which way the water is moving. The third is the leadership tape. Are the strongest names in the market acting strong? The mega caps in your sector are quietly rolling over while the index holds up on the back of a few names. That's information. Divergence in leadership is one of the earliest signals that the tape is changing. None of this lives in a single ticker chart. None of it. Here's a real scenario. Apple is sitting at a clean support level. The chart says buy, textbook setup. You enter, but the broader index just broke a multi-week range to the downside. That tape is risk off. The strongest names in tech are quietly losing leadership, rolling rolling over on lighter volume. Your Apple chart was right, the trade was still wrong because the chart was answering a smaller question than the one you actually needed to answer. So inside Elite Options, my Discord, every single morning starts with market context before any individual ticker gets touched. And it's not because charts don't matter. It's because a chart read out of context in this macro regime will fool you constantly. The chart becomes a confirmation tool, not a decision tool. You use context to decide whether a trade makes sense, and then you use a chart to decide whether to take it. In 2018, in a low volatility, slow grinding bull market, you could trade a clean chart and be fine. The macro was a tailwind so consistent that it made chart reading enough. In 2026, the macro is a force. Sometimes it's a tailwind, sometimes it's a wall, and right now, ignoring it makes every chart you read less reliable than it looks. Context first, chart second, every single time. Section 6, if the playbook is public, the playbook is gone. I want to be clear about something before I say this because I'm an educator, and this might sound like I'm undermining my own work. I'm not being cynical here, I'm being structural. Markets are adversarial by design. There is a buyer and a seller on every single trade, and someone is right and someone's wrong. When 10,000 retail traders are all watching for the same breakout on the same ticker, sized similarly, with stops clustered in the same area below the level, they collectively become the most predictable pool of liquidity on the tape. Not because someone is specifically targeting them, but because a public, repeatable, widely taught pattern is the easiest setup in the world to anticipate from the other side of the market. You felt this. Think about any famous setup from a popular trading channel 3 years ago. Track its performance now. You probably can't because the setup quietly stopped working. The channel quietly moved to a new one and a fresh batch of content got released with fresh testimonials. The cycle repeats and it always will. Not because people are being dishonest, because that's literally how markets work. Every edge has a shelf life. The more public it becomes, the shorter that shelf life gets. This applies to everything I teach, including this video. Every framework has an expiration date, and the traders who survive across multiple market cycles aren't the ones who found the best playbook. They're the ones who learn the principles underneath the playbook, so when the structure shifts, they can rewrite their own rules before the market punishes them for the old ones. The traders who are losing right now aren't bad traders. They learned a playbook that worked, conditions it was built for. It genuinely worked. The conditions changed and the playbook didn't, and nobody told them to update it because the people teaching it were still getting paid to teach it. Trading in 2026 is harder than it was in 2021, and it's not because the market's unfair. It's because it got more efficient. The public playbook got more saturated, and the window between this works and everyone knows this works got shorter. The traders keeping up are the ones who treat their own rules as a working draft, not a religion. Who can look at what's happening in their own account in the broader market and ask, is this framework still being rewarded? And if the answer is no, they update. They don't defend, they update. That adaptability alone, that willingness to rewrite your own rules before you're forced to, that's the actual trading rule in 2026. So here's what actually changed and what you need to do about it right now. The market got faster, so stop expecting the old window to hold. Adapt your timing. The edge moved to execution. Stop hunting for a secret setup that doesn't exist and start executing what you already know with precision. Fewer trades, more money. Your job is to ignore more setups, not find more of them. Size beats entry. Define your max loss before you enter. Size so that a loss is just a loss and let that math protect you. The context beats the chart. Know where the market is before you decide where the trade is. And if the playbook is public, the edge is already gone. So learn the principles behind the rules. Stay adaptive and treat your framework as your working draft. This isn't the easy version of this content. It's not 5 setups that print money, but it's the honest version. The traders who are winning in this regime aren't smarter than you. They aren't more connected. They're just operating with an updated map. Now you have it. Now, everything I just laid out is in the updated rulebook for what's structurally changed in the market. But I didn't have time to go into the reason why most traders can't follow these rules, even when they know them. Click this video here where I break down the psychology of trading, the part that decides whether you can actually hold the trade and cut the wrong one when real money's on the line. Because if you don't get that part right, none of the rules in this video are gonna save you. I'll see you there.